and welcome to the show. We thank God you can view the show, whether it's in your living room, your bedroom, your kitchen, any other area in your home. We're excited to bring you DAP Ministry Presents. I'm your host, the Reverend Willie Williams. You're excited about the information you're going to receive today. I want to say to you, I'm thankful. This is a new year, but I even had an opportunity to go down to the lower ninth ward. And believe it or not, I even went down there twice in the same week. And so it was exciting to see some of the progress and, some of the non-progress. As I say, go down there, see the devastation, but realize the restoration. The streets are better in some areas, and some of the businesses are still there. There's still businesses somewhat closing down. So go down there. There'll be an encouragement for all of those pastors and those citizens that are staying in that area. Again, we're always thankful to God. We have a co-host with us this week in the person of the Reverend Darrell Smith. I know he's excited about talking about something that really we didn't get an opportunity to talk about the beginning of the month of January, beginning of the year, but it's definitely important, and we want to discuss the importance of it because the legacy that has been put forth. Reverend Smith, you know, we're talking about a legacy that I think it's over. I think Dr. King would have been 93 or something like that if he still would have been alive. And so he left a living legacy. And on January 17, this nation celebrated not only his birthday, but it celebrated his accomplishments and trying to bridge the gap on racial lines. On human lines where people can work together to build a better nation. Want to talk to you. Anything you want to share with us, because I know a whole lot of stuff happens all day, all night, and sometimes you just hit your finger on your I want to say your computer, but sometimes it's just in your hand and your phone. You find out all kind of stuff that's going on, and not only do you enlighten us, but I think you educate us to a point where you said, "No, I didn't know that." Okay, because what was that? Was that new disease that's out there?
Oh, Flurona.
Flurona. I said, man, this guy went to a talk show and learned about it, and it's real.
It's real.
It's real, and that's the issue that we've been dealing with, trying to get out of this pandemic, offering some solutions. And when you came up with that, I said, well, some people are going to say all they had was the flu.
Right.
They don't have the Rona.
Yeah. But, you know, I want to go back to the lower ninth ward.
Okay.
Because that's where I was, raised and up and everything. And right there on Claiborne and Catherine, there's a Martin Luther King School.
Right.
Which was McCarty School.
Right.
Which was the school.
You went that school?
I went to. You went to McCarty?
Of course, I went to McCarty.
Yeah.
You know, when we're coming up, they have too many schools that we could go to.
That's true too.
And then we found out the history of McCarty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Former plantation. And
that's
everything.
right. So we didn't know when we were going. We just looked at it as a school.
Exactly. And in fact, I'm bringing it up because he was talking about Dr. Martin Luther King, how the legacy, because we have streets named and hospitals and things like that, living legacy like that, and the holidays. But we got to remember that it's more than just putting the name on the building or putting the name on the street. I'm going to say it like this: the bad joke. The bad joke is that sometimes Martin Luther King Boulevard or Martin Luther King Street is put in the bad neighborhoods of this certain
That's the perception of people.
And I say that's a bad joke, because it's not always true like that. But the point I want to think about is the fact that we honor him, with the holiday and everything, but we don't really honor him with some of the things of the legacy, because people of color still going through situations. I might as well say it. I was going to say hell, but going through situations and just really looking back at the 60s, civil rights and everything, and we've accomplished a lot. We've had mayors and congressmen, one or two governors more or less black, a black president. Oh, we made it. No, we haven't made it. We've got, still have a long way to go and I could see what Reverend Dr. King was trying to say, that we shouldn't look at the color of a person's skin,
but the content
of the character. Even now, as we could talk about current events and everything, we know that Supreme Court justice is resigning, and President Biden made a promise that he would submit a black woman for the Supreme Court, which has never been done. Well, that's a good thing. But then critics are saying something like that's affirming,
as reverse affirmative action.
Affirmative action, and that has nothing to do with it because they've never had a black woman Supreme Court justice.
What is the reality of life in time? The word is diversity.
Mm-hmm.
Things have changed. Diversity.
Yeah.
Diversity.
Yeah. And so out of the so many years that they've had a Supreme Court, this would be the first, And so we're still accomplishing a lot of firsts, a first, I say black this, a first black that, whatever like that. And so we still have a lot of firsts to overcome. But let us first remember where we came from, There was a time we couldn't vote. And that's really what Reverend Dr. King was really trying to start up.
Exercise the right to vote.
Right to vote. And unfortunately, again, we have the right, but some of us, black and white, don't exercise that right. But how important is your vote is the thing. We said this during election time. If you didn't vote, no voice. Don't talk about.
Don't complain.
Don't complain. If you didn't vote, don't complain. And so we've got to exercise our voice with this, Good to have his name on things, but we've got to remember, like you said, living legacy, what we're still going through. I said like this with my former pastor, Reverend Dr. Francis said, Reverend Dr. John Francis said this, and it took me a while to understand, but he said, it's no harm in being black, just inconvenient. And he said it in a way that whereby, that's right, I'm saying loud and black and I'm proud. Well, he didn't say that, but to use that concept, but it's also inconvenient because people cannot get over looking at a person's skin before they could look at
the character
and everything. And so we, not just black, but white, we as a society, we as people got to stop looking at that. Can I tell you something?
I'm listening.
Which you know spiritually already, when they tried to ask Jesus, who would be married in heaven, whose wife would this be and all that. And Jesus said, hey, there's no male and female in heaven. We're all going to be spirits. We're all going to be of a like kin. So there's no male and there's no female in heaven. And so there shouldn't be no black or white or yellow or brown looking at the concept of people down here. But we've got a long way to go still.
Well, you have to look at it, and what you said is so true in that God makes promises, and any promises he makes, he keeps. And after the first world was destroyed, whether you believe that biblical principle or not, he made a promise that he will not destroy the world by water. Mm-hmm. And so that promise was given by a rainbow.
Yes, sir.
Rainbows are reflective of every hue, every shade in existence. Mm-hmm. And so it's just I guess outrageous to think that skin tone has anything to do with your intellect, because your skin tone has nothing to do with if you afforded the opportunity of an education, mm-hmm. and then people are going to criticize where you get your education from anyway and stuff like that, but there's a level of intelligence that you can, and look, God wants us, everybody, to communicate not only with him, but with one another.
Yeah.
If we can communicate together, I believe we can solve some of our simple base problems, because in most cases, some things are just that simple. And so that's why Jesus touches the heart of man and say, where's your treasure?
Yeah.
Is your treasure your material possessions? He said, well, if that's your treasure, you have a serious problem. You won't be able to get into heaven.
Right.
Because you love that more than you love God.
Thank you.
And so the danger is us, even those who don't believe in God, coming to a realization we have to talk out situations. Communication is great. Greatest thing that we ever had. Imagine just thinking about when you were in kindergarten, before you got to first grade, before you got to second grade, third grade. Kindergarten was the experience where you were experiencing people that's not in your family, unless you were a twin or you had brothers and sisters, or y'all went to the same school and y'all just happened to be in kindergarten at the same time. In most cases, you experience new people, new attitudes. If you were the king of the castle, giving your parents all kind of trouble at home, you found out you can't be the king of the castle in kindergarten. That's because there's somebody else said, hey, my daddy told me I'm the queen. My daddy told me I'm the king. He said, I don't think I'll agree with your daddy. Yeah. This kindergarten.
You know what? I'm glad you said it like that, because you're right. Communication is the key. Because what the poet says, no man is an island. We all have to exist with one another. And so education is that one thing, learn the experience and everything.
I think we don't put the emphasis on the importance of education depending on the type of education. Yes, there's secular education, but there's also spiritual education. All that comes and really is important to everyone. Yeah. Because there's a level that you're going to understand secular things, and then hopefully you're open to understand spiritual things. Communication is so important, is that in the Great Commission, Jesus says, go tell.
That's right.
So that means that you have to communicate, and he's able to communicate to everyone. We got biblical teaching that proved that at one time everybody spoke the same language, and they didn't do what God told them to do. So God said, I'll show you what to do. We got to go to break. We'll come back. I want to further this discussion because Dr. King gave us a legacy. We need to strive to fulfill the legacy. We need to come together. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Poor nutrition today will increase Sarah's chances of anemia, add to her healthcare costs, sick days, even stunt her ability to learn. And the thing is, Sarah's not even born yet. Get proper nutrition before it's too late. Call or visit WIC. WIC provides nutrition information, healthcare referrals, even food. Your child has you, and you have WIC.
Mrs. Johnson, good to see you again. This is Mike. You can trust him. He looks just like you. Plus, 2 against 1 is more intimidating when we force someone to sign a loan.
And I'll be sucking up to you in order to keep up the illusion.
So, here are your low monthly payments and interest rate as we promised. Here's where they triple. The rest of this stuff, don't think a lawyer can read this. It protects us. Make sure we get your home when you can't pay us back.
Such a lovely house.
Yeah. But don't worry. We're going to sell you credit life insurance. You don't really need it, but
puts lots of cash in our pocket.